You're on. You're on.
The holiday season is almost upon us. Christmas and Hanukkah are approaching, and with them the question of what to get everyone. This year, in addition to getting lovely holiday cards and gifts, you can also help people living with HIV and AIDS right here in Los Angeles. Find out how, next on AIDS Vision. Welcome to AIDS Vision. I'm your volunteer host, Allison Arngrim, and today we're going to be talking about AIDS Project Los Angeles holiday cards. With me is Terry Burge, who is Development Associate for Special Events, and you're sort of in charge of the holiday cards.
Right, exactly.
Also with me is Andy Sklar, who is the artist who actually drew these. So Terry, now what is the holiday card program? What exactly is it? How did it come about?
How the holiday card campaign came about, it was about 4 years ago. The Gay Men's Health Association was putting together a holiday card, and our Director of Development, Bill Jones, was also involved with that, and we started to pattern ours after that. So we're moving into our 5th season this year of doing the holiday cards, and it basically is for a minimum $10 donation. The donor can send in their holiday list that will have a detailed list of all the addresses to all the people that they want, and our volunteers will hand address and hand stamp and seal, and we also personalize every card with a laser printer so that they're all done very professionally.
Oh, nice.
And send them all out for them to all the guests that are on their list.
Oh, so for $10, it's not just like you pay $10 and we give you a card.
Right.
For $10, you guys take care of all the schlepping and the printing and the mailing and the stuff, and it's like done like you had them all printed up and everything.
Everything. And some people do choose to have the cards sent back to them so that they can write personal messages in the cards, and we can also do that as well.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. Now, where exactly does the money go? I mean, $10 for a card, it's going to APLA, is this direct to client services? Is this a general donation? What happens with this money?
Well, what's good about this program is that our expenses are very low for the program, so it is one of our largest money-making events in order to give the money back to the agency to fund the programs that we have. Our expenses are below 20% on the project, so that 80% or more of the money goes directly back into the 30 programs that AIDS Project LA offers to our clients, and such as the food bank or the dental clinic and things of that nature, so that it does go back into the general funds.
So you're funding all the programs.
Exactly.
With everything from education on down. So it's a real Christmas,
Everything.
It's the general fund sweep, as it were.
Exactly, and it goes right back into everybody. So it really is a gift that is giving back to the clients and the people who are living with HIV and AIDS in Southern California.
How did you get involved with this, Andy?
Well, when I first came to Los Angeles, I found that, I learned about APLA and saw all the great things that were going on, and I think that I heard about the Christmas card, and being an illustrator, I just saw it as a natural way for maybe I could contribute something and make a difference. So it just, about 2 years ago, I pursued it and did the holiday card. So that's sort of how it unfolded.
Now, we always call it the holiday card because it's when I send them, I always say, oh yeah, well, the Christmas card, but then I do wind up sending Hanukkah cards, and some people it's strictly the Hanukkah card. And then there's people where they send presents and cards out in December, but they don't really celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or anything in particular. So how do you cover all different camps with one card?
Well, what's good is that it's very tricky, but what's good is that, and since the campaign has begun, we've always offered 2 types of cards. And most of the time they're usually non-generic or non-denomination type cards, so that people can utilize them for Hanukkah. They can also utilize them for Christmas. It's more of the gift giving is the aspect of it, and to give back to the community, not so much just for Christmas itself or Hanukkah itself. So it does, you know, try and encompass the whole world there.
So it's more like one of those, a gift has been given in your name for whichever holiday.
Exactly. And Andy's card was appropriately titled The Gift Giver, which was really good, and I always liked that title.
Thanks. Yeah, I kind of felt it was sort of, you know, makes a card that, you know, appeals to everyone as far as the holidays go. And I just, even though I, you know, wanted to not make it too Christmassy or too Hanukkah, or it always ended up being festive, and I think that's what the holidays are to everybody, whether you celebrate one holiday or the other. So, and the gift giver seemed to be a perfect kind of attitude to translate that.
Based on any kind of theme in art that you were already working on, or was this specifically done for the card?
The piece was something that I had been, you know, I've always been enthralled with like the decorative arts and things like that, and I found that the opportunity doing greeting cards was a great way to explore that. So it was just something though I did specifically for the card.
There it is. What is now? What is this? This is great.
This basically is a sort of carnival, sort of Venetian costume character.
Now this looks like tarot cards.
Yeah, it's
that almost
funny.
looks like, what is that, a Jack of Diamonds or something like that?
People see that and they think tarot cards are a tattoo. You know, I could love to see that on somebody's arm. That'd be very interesting. But yeah, it's just you know, just something festive, a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of life to it. And he's carrying a cornucopia of little gift boxes, and if you can see down in the far corner, one of the boxes has fallen and is popped open, and there's a heart coming out. So it's just this sense of trying to convey a message of that, you know, love is sometimes one of the greatest gifts you can give.
It really
support.
Is. A little almost like that when they used to do that, the Ghost of Christmas Present in Dickens.
Yeah, well, I just love all that kind of theatrical stuff, so I wanted to bring a lot of that to this.
So, do we have others to show?
The other card was done by Paul Outerbridge, who was a famous photographer back in the around the turn of the century, the early 20s, who did a very elaborate montage of nudes and stuff in his artwork, but also did a lot of holiday season photography. So it's an actual photograph of a Christmas tree that's a beautiful card with the draping of the red and white striped silk fabrics, and it's got the gifts and stuff around it, and it's a
but
beautiful
not the
card.
nudes.
No nudes
so
in this one.
as of yet, we have no nude holiday cards.
That's
no nude holiday cards.
And there I was about to buy it. How did you, what kind of art did you do before this, and how did you come to be involved in AIDS?
Well, I studied illustration, and I was in New York for a few years doing magazine editorial art. I landed a job with Walt Disney Imagineering doing theme park design. So I was there for quite a while.
What rides did you do?
I worked a lot on, like, you know, in Florida, the Studio Tour theme park. I came on around that time when they were designing, building that. And I just did a lot of different little things around there. And at the same time kept doing my editorial stuff for magazines. And I've been interested in doing greeting cards, actually. It's been something I've been interested in. And someone had suggested, you know, APLA has this thing, you know, why don't you do that? It's something you could really, you know, make a difference. And going to a lot of the APLA events, getting to know people in the community, and certainly having friends that, you know, I've lost to AIDS, it just seemed, you know, it was like a great thing. It just sort of came together that way.
Where you were able to use what you were already doing.
Yeah, it just, right. And it's just the idea that it could make such a difference, like financially, to the organization was just, you know, kind of overwhelming to me. I didn't realize what a difference it makes, but it really does. I mean, and it feels great to be able to do that.
Oh, we have another card.
Oh.
Is that a reindeer?
This is the, reindeer. It's the, this was last year's Christmas card, and there's a piece I did for editorial work I did in Chicago.
So that's another thing you did. We don't know if that one is a card, but that's okay. What is that?
That is a taxi cab that's I did as a greeting card that I was putting together a line of cards.
It seems airborne.
Yeah, it's kind of a Astro taxi cab.
The Astro cab. Now that could be a holiday theme. I don't know.
Sure.
That's beautiful. What's that?
That's something I did. I was in New York, and it was an editorial piece on the theater season for New York that I did about 3 years ago. and that also I put it made a card. So I was selling a lot of these images as cards as well.
So I see there is sort of a running theme, that kind of like almost tarot card nouveau.
Yeah, there's something very graphic and kind of designed.
Then you have the taxi just in
and
there.
And the taxi just,
you had this sudden
trying
attack
something
of something
new.
else.
Just something new, you know, keep it fresh. Yeah, my style ranges in a lot of things. I mean, doing theme park design to the cards to taxi cabs. It's just, I've always been really versatile, and you know, drawing was something I could always do, and I kind of feel like, you know, my hand is an actor. It's like if there's a job that'll, you know, I've always been able to make it perform.
They're sort of tailor-made.
Yeah, you
give
know.
me 2 pairs of pants with this.
Exactly. I mean, it's always been that. I've always had that ability to be very versatile, and it's, for a long time, I always was concerned about it. I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to have a style, and no one's going to, you know, you need to have a style, but I found that it's actually been great because I'm constantly busy. You know, there's always something to do, and there's always a job that someone can call me on. So.
You have more than one style. So
yeah, it works well. It works really well. So.
Now, are these cards a big seller? I mean, they keep doing them every year, so I would assume that they're doing fairly well. You said they're the biggest money maker, really?
They're one of our top money makers in the sense of, you know, like a Commitment to Life event did $5 million last year as one of the largest AIDS fundraisers, but as far as the expenses that go back into the agency, or the money that goes back into the agency, this is one of the top ones because, again, the expenses are so low, and where a lot of that comes from.
It's the most economic fundraiser you've got for only 20%, yeah.
And a large part of that is because of the volunteers, because we're 100% volunteer driven. I know that there are other cards that are out there, but a lot of agencies and a lot of other companies have gone to fulfillment houses or catalog shopping, which so much of that proceeds go into trying to pay those people out.
You may have to pay.
Exactly.
For the but you drew this for free, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And the other image was donated by G. Ray Hawkins Gallery right here in Santa Monica, and all the addressing and the stamping and the mailing and all of that is all done by our volunteers. So we don't have any expenses to pay out to anybody, you know, as far as that goes.
This is a proper bargain.
Right. The only expenses primarily was the cost to print the card, you know, once they were done, and the initial mailing. We sent out approximately 600 pieces to corporations, offering them a half-price discount of $5 a card for orders of 200 or more for corporations in order to send them out.
A discount, no less.
Right. For large quantities.
Yeah, large quantities.
Quantity is good. And
we'll keep that in mind. And we're going to go to a quick break right now and show you yet another fabulous PSA. We'll be right back.
Mi scusino, ma voi usate preservativi? Ma non mi disturba! Ma questi gente?
还没有，不过以后就会啦。
Bien
sûr, t'en as pas une, tu vas folle, hein, j'ai pas envie de mourir d'une disease. Ah non. Si.
インディアカネベルファイバーがでちょっと何言ってんですか
So, are you using condoms?
A good question. Are you using condoms, and have you bought your holiday cards yet? So we're saying that they're a bargain because you were offering discounts to corporations if they buy a lot of them. How many do you have to buy to get the break?
It's 200 cards minimum in order to get the break on that. And the original mailing to our donor base was approximately 70,000 pieces. And Judith Light agreed to sign our letter this year, and it was a very nice letter. And one thing that she said in there that really caught my eye that I was very proud of is that she says in the letter that this is a 2 gifts in 1. We're back to that bargain again.
I mean, I'm always looking for a deal at the holidays, I gotta tell you.
It's 2 gifts in 1 in the sense that you're donating money in someone's name. It does say that in the card that a donation has been made in your name to AIDS Project LA, and so therefore you are giving the gift to someone as a donation in their name, but you're also giving a gift to the clients and the people in Southern California that are living with HIV and AIDS, which is a great gift to give.
Now, as a donation, then this is tax deductible, or in portion or in whole?
You know, I'm not really sure. I think that I think in the value of what the card is, it is so low that it is
right. That it's probably, I'm sure, it must be all
tax
okay. But it's something you definitely would put on your taxes as a donation. So your card shopping would become tax deductible.
Right.
I mean, you know, I'm ready now. I'm like, yes, okay, that's what I need to do. Tell me there's a deduction involved. Now, how did you get involved with AIDS? I mean, you're a staff person, you're in development, but how did you come to be involved with AIDS Project Los Angeles?
Well, I did various volunteer work throughout the community over the past, I would say, probably 3 years. And last year, probably one of my best friends that I had met since I've been in LA for about the past 7 years passed away. And it was very hard for me, and I was looking for another way to help in a larger sense, and I worked for Universal Studios, competition with Disney.
We got Universal.
And I was producing special events at Universal Studios.
All we need is Warner Brothers.
And I was producing special events for Universal Studios, and one of the events that I had the privilege to work on was the Commitment to Life event last year. And for the first time in my 6-year career at Universal, I felt so proud of what I was doing. I mean, it was great to work on a Wells Fargo event. It was great to work on a, Bank of America or even some other fundraisers. But for the first time, I had a sense of belonging, a sense of need, and the day after that event, I called into that department who I'd worked with and told her if there was ever a position open that I would definitely be interested in that. And about 3 months down the road, that happened. So, and I really like it, and I enjoy it a lot, and it's a lot of fun, and it makes a big difference to me to know that I am contributing to a much larger cause rather than just to the bottom line of a company that really doesn't matter.
So in one event you were converted, basically.
Exactly.
Do you think that that's something that may happen also with these cards, that someone may buy them, but when they send them to their friends, that a friend who may not have previously volunteered or donated, and suddenly opening their cards going, oh, that's Santa Claus, reindeer, snowman, APLA.
Right.
That this is going to suddenly cause them to perhaps start to donate or volunteer?
Creates it creates an awareness too of the organization, and makes them aware of, oh, here's this place that I could make a difference. What can I do?
Is it included with the card? Is there also something in the card of what AIDS Project Los Angeles does?
Yeah, there's a statement, isn't there, on the back of the card? There's a statement telling you what it does and where the money goes to, and then a phone. I think there's a phone number and address, so it's all there in fine print.
So maybe if they know people aren't doing something, this is the way to insidiously get to.
It's a great way to give volunteers an opportunity to come into the agency rather than doing the orientation program and going through the processes to work in various departments. It's a great stepping stone to get into the agency because it is the holidays. It's a sense of community, it's a sense of spirit, and it's a sense of belonging with other people. I've had several sets of friends that, have not really ever volunteered or donated their time before who have said, oh, I'm going to get 6 friends. We'll all come in one night and we'll work on these cards. Because it is such a large project, we work approximately 30 volunteers a day from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, Monday through Thursday, and then also on Friday and Saturday.
And this goes on for several weeks?
It goes on for about 3.5 weeks. We'll start the week after Thanksgiving on November 28th, and we'll go through the week right before Christmas for all those last-minute orders of people who didn't get their money in time, or like me, I sent my cards the day after Christmas.
Boxing Day is still a holiday in a lot of places.
That's true.
So you need 30 people a day. So people are watching, if they want to call up and volunteer and, do those cards, they can come in. If they've never been trained and, I don't have any skills, I don't know how to do anything, they can come and do the holiday card deal.
Exactly. And, and it's really easy. I mean, if you don't have great handwriting, you can, put the stamps on or seal the envelopes. Or even check the orders, because it is very important to make sure that all the orders are sent to the right people, to make sure the addresses are correct, because, people do want something, for $10.
They want to get there.
Exactly. Yeah. And, to make sure that it is a great gift to give to somebody. So we make sure that everything's perfect.
What kind of response have you gotten from people now that they know, you're doing the card?
Oh, it's really warm, and, people are very enthused and excited by it. And as far as the piece, they just think it's great. So it's been real positive, I think it has an impact. And it tells a lot about you know, yourself when you tell people what you're doing. You know, it's like, oh, well, here's a person that cares, you know.
Like I said about the insidious thing is I'm also seeing, because there's still people out there who are still very afraid. You mentioned AIDS, you mentioned HIV, you say you're volunteering at APLA, and there's still people who are bothered. And I'm wondering for people who may be working with people with AIDS, and maybe their relatives or their friends still don't understand what they do, that this holiday card could be like sort of the sneaky way, kind of like get it to them.
Right, yeah. I think you're right. I think that's the stigma is, you know, it's still there for a lot of people, and I think that, you know, it's, I think it's a great way of breaking through that, you know, even if it's on a smaller level, but it's people, yeah, it's an issue that I think, for me, like doing the cards, I think just like anyone, I think initially it was an issue for me, learning about the organization and what it was and what AIDS was all about and how it was affecting the whole world and the whole community, and you know, I was lucky enough to meet people in the organization who really were able to open my eyes to like how important it is that everyone, no matter who you are, get involved, because it's everybody's issue, you know. So for me, doing the card was a great way of doing that.
And so for someone who might be afraid receiving something pretty like this in the mail, can be the beginning of something. If somebody wants to buy the cards, they need to phone. They can place an order by phone.
Yes, they can. They can call directly to me and place their order. It's 213-993-1568.
And we'll run it on the screen and all that too.
Perfect. Yeah. And I can also fax people. People can fax in their orders.
By fax, you can
it's
fax
the 90s. And you know, I have great forms that are already done, and they just have to slap those little addresses on there and send them right over, and we take care of everything. It's a great way to, you know, not have to worry about the holiday season. You know, somebody else takes care of everything for you, and we're more than willing to do that.
An obvious question that comes to mind now, if you have the project mail them out, now does that mean that your friends will get mailed other stuff, like after the card? Or can you check something to say, nah, don't mail them anything after the card?
Exactly. There is a, on the order form on each address, there is a box to either add the person to the mailing list of AIDS Project Los Angeles or not to put them on, which some people choose not to, and then some people do because they think it's a great way to introduce them into the agency.
Yeah, well, I have people I would send the card and I would say, put them immediately on the mailing list, start sending them everything.
Exactly.
And then there's people who go, well, let's just send them the holiday card and see what they do, you know.
And I have had several people that have called in that have placed orders and at the same time go, oh yeah, and I wanted to come in and volunteer and help too. So it does turn around, and then they say, you know, add these people to the list and, you know, give this person a call. I think they would be interested in volunteering too. So it is, again, people helping people, and it's giving out and reaching out to the community, which is really good at this time of year.
But if you are concerned about privacy, it is a no salesman will call.
Exactly.
You can check the box that they'll never hear from them again, just the holiday card. Okay.
Right.
So if they want to volunteer, is it the same number if you want to come and put together the cards, what have you?
They would just need to call our Volunteer Resources Department and speak with Pamela Brennan, and she will, you know, connect them with
she's great. We've had her on the show.
Oh, very good. With the sign-up sheets. So we do have that going on, and it's, you know, you could come in for an hour, you could come in for 3 hours, you could come in for 12 hours and work the whole day if you wanted to, which would be great for me. But any little or big amount is greatly appreciated.
Now, we showed a couple of the cards and your artwork. How many different holiday cards are there? Are there just the two, or is it three? There's two different models.
Right.
And that's what the guy with the...
Yeah, the cornucopia.
The presents.
And then there's the photographer.
The Christmas tree.
The
photograph.
Okay. So now the one with the reindeer is not in this.
That is last year's.
That's last year's is the reindeer. So we missed the reindeer.
Yeah. Although I hear it's being utilized for an invitation for some in-house event.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Like I think the volunteer party's using it. Okay.
So
do you think
it's immortalized.
Will they do reissues? You think in later years of like holiday cards greatest hits?
The 10-year retrospect.
Because I think you could move something with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've actually suggested to Diane about, you know, what about a calendar maybe next year where I could do 12 images, and or, you know, maybe after accumulating 12 images and Christmas cards we do a collector's edition calendar.
Well, I'll go call Diane and tell her that's a good idea.
I think it was.
No, I think actually the calendar is nice because I think people do like a lot of little gifts and things.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's been some negative stuff towards this where people who've said, you know, is AIDS the first disease to have its own gift shop?
Yeah, right.
You know, it says, no, they got to sell something. But I think if the money goes to services, maybe it's time. Maybe more crises and more diseases should have a gift shop.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, it's here. This, this crisis is here, and it's, and you have to deal with it. And I think, whatever it takes to deal with it to make people's lives better. And if it means putting a boutique together with stuff that's gonna, why not? I mean, it's, this is the lives of these people that, so you gotta, I think it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, there is a lot of criticism and critique about it, so it's an issue.
Well, it's also something that, it's not going away tomorrow.
Right.
And, AIDS Project Los Angeles was founded in 1982, so, I mean, it's been a long haul so far.
And no one's making a buck off these cards.
Right.
We need to stress that.
Exactly.
No, this is about helping people with AIDS.
Right, and all the money does go back into to support the nearly 30 programs that AIDS Project Los Angeles offers, and we have about 4,300 clients right now. So the money is needed for those programs.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. And now I know where I'm getting my cards. And I love your drawings. And personally, I like the one with the cab. But there you go. That'll be my birthday card.
Okay.
We'll send that out.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching AIDS Vision. Please call the numbers on the screen if you want to get these holiday cards. And this holiday, as we said, the money goes completely to AIDS Project Los Angeles. It is tax deductible, and it's a really nice card. Thank you.
Thanks.
There's always lots to learn, and just as many reasons as to why. You and me got choices, so listen to the voices inside us that say don't quit, don't cry.